Hello fundraising friends, I'm Susan Black, owner of Lean Professional Fundraising and author of Help They Want Me to Fundraise. My goal in these videos is to bring you additional thoughts and insights that will help you get the most out of my book. But instead of hearing from me, you're going to hear from some friends of mine who've been doing this fundraising thing for a long time and have thoughts to share. Today's guest is Dr. Lisa Courtice, Executive Vice President of the Columbus Foundation. Welcome, Lisa.
Thank you, Susan.
Thanks so much for being here with me today. I really appreciate it. So I thought today we would talk about a topic that I mentioned in my book called leaky buckets. This idea that there are organizations who go to start fundraising before they really have the internal capacity to do so, where they really haven't addressed some of the business side of their organization and made sure that that's really strong before they go out and start fundraising. But I thought we might start from a bigger picture of when folks come to talk with you and are interested in partnering with the Columbus Foundation, what are the things that you look for in a grantee from the Columbus Foundation?
Well, as you well know, it's highly competitive, right? So there are literally, just in Columbus alone, over 8,000 nonprofits.
Oh my goodness, wow.
So you really have to have some key things in place to be competitive, right? And to differentiate your organization from other organizations. So one aspect that we always look for is leadership. So who's running the organization? Because bottom line is we have to make certain that whomever the grant's made to, that they can deliver. So leadership and your presence and able to articulate the vision of the organization and build a track record for being able to deliver on what you promise you're going to do is really important. So financials are really important.
Okay.
And making certain that those financials are reasonable, and again, that you can deliver on them.
Okay.
And then just building a track record is important. And I would say, also that you're meeting a clear need in the community. Because there are, it's nonprofits are a great, it's like free enterprise. Anyone can start one, right? But you have to have a compelling, in order to get funding and be competitive for funding, you have to be meeting a real need in the community.
Right, right. I can definitely see how those things, all three of those things would be really important, especially because, as you said, it's so very competitive. So what about the smaller organizations or organizations that just really don't have it together? I know we've had these conversations before where when I wrote the book, you said, oh, I'm just going to hand these out because you have so many organizations that come in and they're not really ready to fundraise. They haven't put those things into place yet that are going to make them sustainable long term. What's your suggestions for them when they come in? What are some of the things that you suggest that they do?
So too often we see smaller organizations having goals that probably are not reasonable.
Okay.
And it would I think maybe organizations think that that'll make them look good, that they have a lot of vision. And vision does make you look good, but incremental steps towards achieving that vision that can actually be accomplished are really important. Most of the nonprofit sector is populated by small nonprofit organizations. So being small, it doesn't have to be something that's a detriment.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Because most are small. But being able to say, this is what I want to accomplish in the first year, and being really comfortable with that and glad that and happy with that, because I think maybe organizations think that funders will think it isn't big enough.
Right. Oh, I think so. I think they think that they have to meet a certain number, that if they think that they're not, helping a certain number of people, that somehow that's going to, knock them out of the running.
Right. And then their fundraising goal is so big, and you think, how are you going to raise that, right? Because fundraising is so hard, and you build it over time, but they want to accomplish a lot in a year or two, and it just doesn't seem reasonable.
So it sounds like they're coming in trying to impress rather than worrying about having the fundamentals, making sure that those building blocks are in place, would you say?
Exactly.
Okay, great. Well, Lisa, thank you so much for being with us today. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you for your book. We love your book.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Well, what about you? Do you find yourself working for an organization that still has a leaky bucket, that hasn't addressed some of those issues that Lisa was talking about around leadership and vision and having the fundamentals in place? Tell us more about what's going on at your organization. Be sure to ask questions in the box below and give us your feedback. Thank you so much for watching. For more resources like this one, be sure to check out my book, Help They Want Me to Fundraise, available at these locations, or on my blog at my website, www.alinefundraising.com.